Uh, okay, welcome all for this webinar, this STARS talk in the series of STARS talk given by the STARS EU Alliance on what we are doing and what we are developing within the Alliance and within the current project of STARS EU. We have had 17 before, so this is the 18 in a row, and this time it will be about European Campus, a living lab, or it's been within the Outer Campus initiative by Hochschule Bremen, City University of Applied Sciences. And today we will, as always when it comes to these webinars, we'll have a presentation given by some authors in advance, and then we will have open up for dialogue and discussion afterwards. The time frame is that we will have up to 1 hour, so we need to have at least 15-20 minutes for dialogue discussions, I hope, so it won't be more than 30 up to maximum 40 minutes of presentation, and the rest will be that we will interact. If I will try to moderate. My name is Gunnar Peterson. I work at University West in Sweden as a senior lecturer in the information system, but also in the role of coordinating and project managing the Challenge Lab and being part of the steering committee for the STARS EU Alliance and STARS EU locally here at University West. Today for this talk and for the presentation, we have Maria Clarke and Janina Ebner from Hochschule Bremen, the City University of Applied Sciences in Bremen. And if there are no questions or any objections, I would like to leave the floor to you. You could perhaps present yourself a little bit about your background and your part, and a little bit about the European Campus, the Living Lab by City University. So please, Maria and Janina, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Gunnar. Hello, everyone. My name is Janina Ebner, and I'm from the Hochschule Bremen, as Gunnar mentioned, in Germany. My background is in communication and integrated design, and since March, I've been working as a research associate in the STARS EU project. And together with my colleague Maria Clarke, I'm exploring what a physical co-creation campus could be within the STARS EU Alliance. And I'm very happy to share a part of the work we have developed here at the HSB over the past month. And now, Maria, I hand over to you for a short introduction.
Thank you, Janina. Hello to everybody. My name's Maria, and I teach at the School of Architecture, Hochschule Bremen. And it's really good to be able to reach out to more of you today to let you know what we're doing and to get your feedback on it. We've been working on this project for approximately just over 1 semester. And it started off as a student project, which I hope it's going to continue to do so. And it was a project that we worked on with Professor Ulrike Mansveld, Professor Claudia Kromrey, myself, and Janina. So it was a real joint effort to start with, and it's going to be a big joint effort to carry on. So thank you, Janina, if you'd like to start.
Yes. Thank you so much, Maria. As you know, STARS EU is organized into different work packages to structure the collaboration across the Alliance and to build a shared European learning and teaching space. And Maria and I are working in work package 5, Co-Creation Campus, which is divided into 2 parts, a digital and a physical one. While the digital part focuses on online collaboration, and our role is to develop the physical dimension to explore how a physical co-creation campus could take shape. Part of our task is a signage system, a common signage system that we are currently developing across the partner universities. But it quickly became clear to us that signage alone would not create a European co-creation campus. And this insight led us to develop our project Outer Campus, which we would like to share with you today. Before we dive in, here's a brief overview of what I will talk about today. I will start with our guiding question, what is a European campus? Then I will introduce Interspace, followed by some student projects, and finally a brief outlook and time for exchange. So, before anything else, we asked ourselves a simply but important question: what is campus and what is a European campus? Is it simply a unified signage system? Is it a new building or something entirely different, something we may not yet be able to imagine? And this question became the starting point for our work. But we didn't want to address it top down. We wanted to explore it with students from the inside out and together with the people who are actually affected by what a campus is. That's why we choose the work with a format that has been established at the Hochschule Bremen for many years. It's called Interspace. And Interspace is a long-standing collaboration between two universities in Bremen, the School of Architecture at the Hochschule Bremen and the Integrated Design Program at the University of Arts Bremen. And it brings together students and lecturers from both disciplines. Interspace is an interdisciplinary research-based teaching and transfer project. It explores urgent questions together with stakeholders on equal footing, and it works as a living lab, open, accessible, and based on continuous dialogue. And each edition includes workshops, exhibitions, and publications that makes the process visible. And as I already mentioned, Interspace is an established format running for 13 years as a collaborative framework and for exploring questions of urban life and learning. And each year it starts from a new guiding question that is explored together. Building on this long-standing collaboration, the 2025 edition Outer Campus took this broad question of what is a European campus into practice. And during the summer semester, we had the chance to work with 35 students, among them several Erasmus students, which added even more diverse perspectives to the project. And in addition, 7 lecturers were involved in supporting the students throughout the process. It was a great semester as well. We learned a lot about the idea of a campus, and by the end, 8 projects has emerged, each exploring a different aspect of a European co-creation campus. And in July, the students had the opportunity to present their projects in a hybrid format, both on-site and online. And this allowed them to share their ideas with a broad international audience, as well as with a jury from across the STARS-EU Alliance, and some of whom even traveled to Bremen, which we appreciated very much. And you can see here, if you see my mouse, here's also Rima. She joined also from the Hanse, yes. And the jury included, as some of you can see in the background now, Rima, from the Hanse, Ercole from the HSB, who had not leave before the photo was taken. Then Kinga Raccoon Leia from Krakow, you can see here in these floral blues. Cinti Hernandez Sanchez from the University of La Laguna, Spain, you can see here with the pink long sleeve, and who is also the lead of our task on the physical co-creation campus, and Fabian Perdigon-Haller from the student board in La Laguna. He's here next to me. And in addition to the Stars EU colleagues, two further jury members joined us. Mathis Gericke, he's here, bringing an architectural perspective, and Celine Schmidt contributing a design perspective. After a very inspiring afternoon of presentations and discussions, the jury identified 4 projects that most strongly reflect the Stars EU philosophy as 3 awarded projects, you can see here, and 1 special mention. All 8 projects offered meaningful perspectives, but since our time is limited and we also want to leave room for discussion, I will take a closer look at the 4 projects highlighted by the jury, and at the end I will briefly summarize all 8 projects. I will start with the project that received the 3rd prize. It's called Campus Aura, the Sense of Campus. And this project is a digital tool that visualizes the sense of campus by collecting daily feedback from all members of the university. It transforms the often invisible atmosphere of campus life into a visible collective reflection. And in the end, each Stars EU partner would have a constantly changing aura image, a dataset that captures the mood of campus life and makes it visible across the Alliance. The 2nd prize went to Claim the Campus. The project activated unused places through simple actions like outdoor dining, green spaces, co-working corners, or even opening the rooftop terrace. And the motto of this project was "Just do it," showing that students can quickly change their campus with creativity and small interventions. The project that received the 1st prize went to UniKit Out of the Box. At its core is the Unibox pavilion that can be built on each campus. It works as a showcase for other universities, a stage for events and lectures, and a meeting point to foster direct exchange across the Stars EU network. And the idea is a pavilion on every Stars EU campus, built locally with the help of a construction manual. And the 1st prototype is currently being built at the University of La Laguna, and I'm very curious to see how it will look in its final form and how it will be used on the campus. As a special mention, the jury highlighted the Stars of Europe Festival. It's a hybrid cultural festival bringing together students, staff, and teachers from all partner universities on-site and online to showcase results, foster exchange, and build European connection and understanding. Now that we have looked at the 4 jury-recognized projects, I'd like to zoom out and briefly summarize the core idea behind all our 8 projects. Let me begin with the 4 I haven't presented so far. The 1st project is Invisible in Between. It can create modular meeting spaces that connect people through flexible, adaptable environments wherever they need it across campuses. The second one is STARS-EU Multitool, a modular learning method and teaching format similar to a blended intensive program that enables each university to integrate its local culture, materials, and knowledge into a shared European learning toolkit. The next project is Real Space, a mobile learning lab that can bring learning exactly to that place where space is needed, creating temporary learning environments, even in locations that cannot host permanent structures. One project that really captures the approach we want to take forward is Rethink Campus. It's a co-creation method that brings together different disciplines to actively shape the future co-creation campus. And it's a method we aim to use in the next steps of our collaboration across STARS-EU. Now, back to the four earlier projects, some are already moving into practice. Let's start again with Campus Aura. This project can become a digital evaluation tool, creating a shared data set that makes campus atmosphere visible across STARS-EU. Claim the Campus activates spaces proven in Bremen and ready to share the know-how across the partners. Unikit, a prototype pavilion, has been built in Bremen and has now also been realized in La Laguna. It is designed as a communication satellite with the long-term aim of building a pavilion on each STARS-EU campus. And finally, let's look at the Stars of Europe Festival. It will take place in July 2026 in Bremen as a hybrid event, an annual festival rotating among the partners, shaping the identity of European campuses. So after completing this first phase and seeing this range of ideas, it became clear that a co-creation campus is far more as a signage system or a new building. And the students showed how a European campus can be imagined as something dynamic, shared, and constantly evolving. And this is exactly why we want to continue this work, building on what this first phase has shown to us. We are now ready to take the next step. And this winter semester, which means right now, we want to use this phase for a broad thought exchange across all STARS-EU partners. And this is why we are here today, to share the work, to open the ideas and invite new perspectives into the conversation. And to create a real opportunity to work on this together, we will host a blended intensive program in summer 2026. During this BIP, we want to take the ideas, questions, and outcomes of the 8 projects further and explore them collectively across the whole alliance, drawing on perspectives from many different disciplines and really important, not only from architecture and design. And the digital phase will run from April to July, and the physical part will take place from the 4th to the 8th of May. And the question, what is a European campus, is still open and it needs many perspectives. We would love to continue these explorations together with you all. If you are interested in contributing ideas, connecting your teaching or research, or joining the BIP in 2026, please feel free to reach out. And before we open the discussion, I would first like to thank you for the attention and for having us here today. And if you would like more information, our Linktree QR code will lead you to the project catalog and to further updates on Instagram. And now we look forward to the exchange with you. So I'd like to open the discussion for questions, thoughts, or anything you would like to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Janina. Thank you. There are really some really interesting things that you have been doing in this living lab, and very nice presentation. So I don't know, could you stop sharing and we perhaps open up for so we could see each other? Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Janina. Okay, now there's possibility for questions, remarks to Janina and Maria, and a dialogue discussion based on the Living Lab and what we already have heard now. So please, if there are any that have the courage to start up. Yes, Maria, please go ahead.
I just thought I'd add a couple of points maybe to start the discussion going. I think what's so exciting about this project is that a living lab means that it's a real life setting, and it really is that. We have STARS EU. It's an extremely complex situation that we have with 9 universities working across Europe. And there is so much potential in that. And using a living lab, we have the opportunity for it to be user-centered, which means that students, teachers, administration, researchers, everybody can take part and actually play a part in deciding what our new campus means. And I've been involved for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, no, actually 3 years now in STARS EU. And whilst it's a lot of work, I'm sitting here in Krakow at the moment. The week before last, I was in Braganza. I'm meeting incredible people. The potential of working together is huge. And this has the opportunity for the users of STARS EU, us, to design in the sense of put input into what we're doing. So it's a co-creation process where we're all playing a part because we all have something to say. It's not just top down. We want to know what the students think, but we actually want to know what everybody thinks. So it's not all about architecture, space, art, design. We would welcome input from every corner of research and knowledge. Perhaps a very important part, not an excuse, but it's an iterative process. So we're trying things, we're prototyping them. We look, assess, does it work well? Doesn't it work well? For example, Janina is going to show with Cynthia the first signage system next week. Yes, next week in La Laguna. There's feedback, and then we're going to try again. So we're going to have to do a few circles before we get it right. So I don't think that the next BIP is the end of the project. It's something that we're trying to develop for the future, and it's something that's at the moment, as far as I'm aware, something pretty special to STARS EU that we're trying to do this. And of course, there's that special word that we all use all the time. It's innovation focused. So we're looking for new ideas. So we would really love other people to be on board. And it's not as if we have a fixed program. You've got to fit in with us. We're looking for feedback. We're looking for people to make suggestions. We're looking for people to say, Maria, Janina, great, but I don't know how on earth I'm going to fit that into my curriculum. Or other people to say, actually that fits really well, but could we do this, this, and this? We're totally open at the moment. So if you are interested, please just get in touch with us as soon as possible.
Yeah, thank you very much, Maria. I don't see any raised hands, so perhaps I could start up and then break the ice beside that you just did, Maria. That one thing that strikes me is the innovation capacity, the thinking outside the box that all the participants have done in this. How have you supported that? Were you giving them guidelines? Were they free to think? Which kind of introduction and support did you give for the participants for the Living Lab?
We were really horrible. We gave them one question. What is a European campus? Actually, we gave them almost two. We were a bit friendlier. We gave them, what is a campus? What is a European campus? And they were free to think. And that's exactly what we want, is that reflection about what they're doing, why they're doing it, why are they studying, what do they need to study, what do they need to study in the future? And perhaps more important, I mean, most of the universities in this partnership are in regions. They're not major cities. Some of them are major cities, but a lot of us are relatively small cities compared to the capital cities. And so it made them think of their position, I think, within Europe and their position within other universities, within the world, actually, and the potentials that it has. And it's a difficult one. Obviously, there were design students and there were architectural students. So they have a certain education which supports that way of thinking. But at the end of the day, we all have a lot of creativity in us. We just have to let it happen. And if somebody's saying, go on, pour it out, think about it, dialogue, talk to each other, and there's a common goal, then these things, they just tend to blow. They don't blow, they tend to flow. They start to move. So obviously we guided them. It was a course for us at the end of the day. They got credits for it. It was very much out of the box for the architects because we weren't creating a building. And there was some input later on in the semester. We had weekly or 2 weekly input lectures from other universities with similar subjects, but more to do with the methodology. No, you don't say that in English. The method. Okay, we'll just go for method. More to do with the method than the outcome of what we were doing. So that was great. And of course, the students are looked after. We talk to them every week, not just one professor or one teacher. So that there's a lot of support in it, which is something we think is pretty important, motivating and supporting the students to think and reflect about what they're doing.
Yeah, thank you very much. Ulrike, please.
Yeah, thank you. I just like to say that it's a question of the setting. And if you are alone with one group, there is not this interaction as like if you have 4 disciplines interacting about one theme. And this is what we'd like to evoke for next year or the next step. So the question is, how could the different disciplines meet to think about the campus of the future? And therefore we need special time frames or windows that are fixed to make sure that this setting happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, Maria, please.
I think we have one. Ulrike's absolutely right. If you can't get the people together, it's very difficult. And online is a great opportunity, but it's not as good as being face to face. And the BIP week, the mobility week, is key. And that is where I think a lot of the intensive work will be happening. And I can just only stress that we believe strongly that this interdisciplinary view will strengthen the project. It will, not just because everybody will be involved, or more people, not everybody, but more people will be involved, but it's just so important to have people from different walks of life or different subject areas giving their input and discussing. And it's not a one-way street. As I said, it's an iterative process. So we're going to be going around in circles, but we're going to be going further, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And I just think it's a fantastic opportunity to bring us together as we want it, not as somebody else decides for us.
Yeah. Anybody else that want to contribute? Any comment or question for the presenters? I got one to still breaking the ice. I don't know. Since we're talking about an outer campus, European campus, we are 9 partners, and the context and the differences. We're still building that there's differences between the Canary Islands, Sweden and Albania and so on. So how did you try to, because I think that your solutions, the proposals made are excellent, but how to think about the varieties and differences and take that into account for making it possible for all the 9 partners within the alliance.
Janina, do you want to answer? Or?
Yeah, that is a good question. But that is also the reason why we want this variety of people, and we want this people from the different partner universities to have this input, because we don't know how is it to teach or to live in La Laguna or in Krakow. So it's really important to have the input from from these different places and combine this in this question. And also not only the place, also the culture and also the way how you use your campus. It's really different. And I think this is why we want this exchange, and it helps us to know everyone on the campuses and to go in contact with them, and to make maybe a big network with everyone and every discipline. And yeah. And we had also the UniKit, they planned this modular pavilion, and they sent this handbook to La Laguna, and La Laguna prepared this pavilion with his own resources. So they use their own material, and it's also a way how you connect this big question and cultures together in one project.
Yeah, it's a challenge, of course. Yes.
Yes.
Please, Jan, and Jan first, and then Lorraine. But Jan, you start up, please.
Okay. Thanks for your presentation and for your efforts to the European campus. Maria, you said earlier that you were kind of mean to the students in terms of, just throwing them into the cold water. I would like to return the favor a bit on behalf of the students and ask the same question now. Do you have a summary or first insights where you would say, well, this is a European campus, or these are the insights we gained from the students on what a European campus actually is?
That's a very good and very difficult question. Thank you very much for that, Jan. Yes and no. I learned a lot through what we did. And I certainly have some, or we have our favorite schemes, and we have reasons why we have our favorite schemes. Our favorite schemes aren't necessarily the ones that got the first prize. And I would say that every scheme had a quality. And I think that that was one of the most important slides that Janina just showed. We had 8 different projects, and she, just in a couple of words, said what were the key issues of that idea, of that concept. So you need to pool these things, but most of the time, identity is one of the most important things. Another important thing is actually using what you have to make the most of it. And also one of the other things that we've got ideas for the future, how we're going to get the ball rolling for the BIP. We're not going to ask exactly the same question, because we are perhaps one step further, which was basically your question. So I think Janina also mentioned it. Rethink the Campus is one of the answers from the students that created like the idea of a building container where students work together to decide, and interdisciplinarily, how to work on certain issues within the campus. So it was, again, a very much bottom-up answer. So if, for example, there needed to be reactivation of a particular space. I was in Braganza the other day, and a couple of the teachers were saying we have nowhere to sit outside. It's a real shame. So it could be a very small project. How do we deal with that? How do you do the costings? How do you do the implementations? Do you buy the furniture? Do you design the furniture? And that would actually be a student project. Okay, it'll take a bit longer than normal, but it belongs to the Stars AU. And so not everything has to be something that spreads across the whole partnership. It's not as if I'm going to tell University West, you've got to do this, this, and this now. Yeah, it's more intangible than that. It's more of a feeling. That's why I said about this identity, belonging to something. So, Janina, can you just help me? We said Rethink Campus was the method.
Yes.
And we were very, very interested by the Aura project, this idea of connecting the digital with the physical. So digital is also space, it's also a room. And the idea of making other places visible in our own community, but not actually the places. It's not a picture of University West. It's a picture of the atmosphere, of the feeling, the mood there. And it would be actually a piece of art, moving with time. So there would be fixed questions, for example, and then over a period of time they would change. And the students thought in a lot of detail about ethics and how that would work. We haven't got an answer to how that could work digitally yet, as in the sense of how to make it work, but that's not a problem. That's actually just finding a solution. And that was very interesting. I find that very interesting because it means that I can see what's happening in Bremen, but I can see what's happening in Braganza. So, and it can be, this is the ethics problem or issue. It has to be very carefully monitored, but I'm getting into too much detail. So the Aura was one of the ideas that we particularly liked. The method was the Rethink Campus. And the third, Janina?
The real
yeah.
space, yes,
Real
with
space.
the learning platform, yes.
That was the building.
Yes.
Exactly. So this was the where it actually became a space as we might understand a space, a building. But it was a portable building, which could be used for teaching and for research. And it belonged to Stasi U. Maybe there were more of them. Maybe at the beginning there was only one. But it was something that could be moved around from place to place, potentially not on one of the partner universities. So maybe it goes to Brussels, maybe it goes to the Arctic, whatever. That's perhaps a bit of a cliche image, but it goes to a place where it says, we are Stasi U. We are Stasi U. All 9 of us are Stasi U. And then people can come in from from the Stasi U partnership and work there.
To answer the question, it was always a physical and a digital solution in combination.
It happened, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
All of the students.
Yeah. Nobody was purely digital and nobody was purely visual, purely physical.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Lorraine, you had a question or comment as well, please.
Yes, hello everyone, thank you. I want to salute the hard work that you have led, Janina and Maria, and of course all the HSB team and the STARS EU team that have contributed in bringing together many stakeholders of the STARS EU academic community in this project. And I really like the way that you gave the opportunity to and the space to students to really let their creativity flow, and thus you helped recenter the experience of the university around its main users, who are the students. I think it's great. I have 2 questions. So the first is a bit more simple because it's a yes or no question. It's is it possible to order a UniKit? I think it would be a great addition to all of our campuses, and I think we would really like having one at UMLP. And the second question is, so you said that you were open to recommendations on the next steps, etc. So I was wondering something. I was wondering whether the concept of what is a campus, what is a European campus, could be transposed to a bigger scale. So let's say, for example, what is a city, what is a European city, what is a region, what is a European region? Because STARS EU is a strategic alliance for regional transitions, and it's one of our main missions to connect regions. And I think that transposing it to a bigger scale would also help us include more stakeholders who are mainly external stakeholders to the academia community, and who are stakeholders that STARS EU really fosters close links with. So I was wondering whether that was possible, whether that was interesting to you, and whether it was feasible. Thank you so much.
Janina, do you want to say something or shall I start?
First I can start. As you mentioned the UniKit, it's possible to connect the students with you, and they would be very happy to share the handbook with you and to be connected. So it would be really nice to have the third place with they can build the UniKit. And the second one is a good question. So we talked a few days ago already about how we can include stakeholders and how we can share this project in a wider range, and not only at the campus, and how we can include this. But it's really hard for us now because it's this question, what is a European campus, is huge, and we have so many perspectives and so many things that could be. So for us, the first next step is to include every partner university. That's the first step, to have so many disciplines as we can have. And then we want to share this and to transfer this to the city, to the region. That would be perfect if it could happen in the next step. But for us, it's really hard to combine all partners in one BIP. So we have now the the project to combine everyone, to have everyone next year in this week in May on site. And we learned it's really hard to have someone on each university who wants to participate. And so we use also this day and this presentation to explain our project, and we hope we have now more interests on the different yes, partner universities. Thank you for the question. Yeah, Ulrike?
Thank you, Janina. I just like to point out that from my opinion, there is already a lot of, there are ideas that could be realized now. And there's one part that is a student project that comes next year. But there is another part that is the meta level. We should look for how could we enhance the alliance to show that there is already an alliance. And that's what I think we should talk about in the steering committee or wherever, which parts of these projects, which you have already seen, are possible to be realized in the future. And then you have a place to meet, and you have a place of identity of this union, and you have the European question to be answered. And that's what I'd like to talk about also.
We actually have one of our 8 solutions ideas was actually looking at regional, the specifics of regions and how they could interconnect. But yeah, I can only reiterate what Janina said. We're branching off. I think we're beginning to realize just how huge that is. And as Ulrike says, also, we're seeing things that we can use in the individual universities as well to make them just simply better. So yeah, one step after another. It sounds like I'm trying to find an excuse, but it's just so huge.
Yeah, it's truly huge, because like we're just looking into each an individual partner university. It's for the student and staff huge, because we have the courses, the study program, we have the departments, the different schools, and so on. And when we scale it up to university, and then we scale it up to our regions. And this case, when it comes to the European universities, we scale up to European level, and differences between the context of that you're working in countries and regions, and it's becoming very complex, and there's a lot of differences, but there are also similarities. But the issue is that how do we find a mutual identity of being an alliance, STARS-EU alliance? What identify us and makes us stand out from others, that makes that that's STARS-EU, that STARS-EU, what characterize that being a part of this alliance and partners within that, and our collaborations, our regions. It's a huge task, but it's an important one that for the entire alliance and for the all the partners within the alliance. So I think it's incredible work that you have been doing so far, trying to explore and develop this into identity and characteristic and the which kind of possibilities to do this. So I'll it's very, very good. And as you said before, I think we need to go forward within the the combination of partners in the steering committee and in the development of the alliance on how to actually pick up these possibilities and initiatives and develop further jointly. So there are still some time for other questions or remarks, but if there are none, we don't need to prolong. But it's I would very much like to thank you, Maria and Janina, for very. It's been most interesting. It's been very helpful, and there's a lot of inspiration from what you are doing and what you presented here today. So it's thank you very much for giving this talk. I'm honored to be part of it. It's been really nice. So thank you, and I'll share with you the recording afterwards. And also I would like to thank you all for participating today and for your questions and for your the different comments and your participation and taking part of this. So thank you all. We have still one more STARS talk this in December. So it's one more before this due for Christmas. It's on the agenda on the website for the Alliance, and I hope and think it will be shared and presented locally at the partner universities as well. So thank you all for today and for your participation, and not least again, thank you Janina and Maria for your participation and talk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for taking the time.
Yes.